Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN with your faves, me, Azen, and of course, Jade, Gwen, Idita, CPL Matter, Stuart Johnson, who's right here on my left. Good morning, Jade.
Morning.
Guys, it's Hump Day, June 29th. We're at the tail end of the month, guys.
Finally.
Yes, sir. Jade, time keeps pushing. We keep moving.
Indeed.
It has been quite an interesting month.
It has?
Yeah.
It has.
It has. It has. And I think we still have I think we're going to have some twist before the month ends.
The month end and like...
Oh, yes, Jade. We're going to have a twist or two.
You know something that made up?
I might be suspecting something. I can't say that I know. Today is what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
When is it first?
That would be, let me see. The 1st of July is...
Friday?
Friday, yes. Listen, we're going to have a twist.
We got time. We got
I mean, as if not something that way, you know.
One or two twist.
One or two?
One plot twist.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. But it's been a good month. What has been just so interesting to me has been just how quick time seems to fly by. seems like it's speeding up. Yeah, it seems like it's speeding up.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But we had some plot twists last night.
I didn't get to listen. I was too tired. So tell me about the twist.
No, I had some announcements.
I hear some.
What here?
I hear somebody call somebody Momo. That's all I hear. And somebody is greedy. But I don't know how true it be.
But the name calling has been a thing. The last few weeks.
Why we keep calling out each other names? Why can't we just all get along?
Jade, I don't know.
My word.
I don't know, Jade.
We were getting along up to
February.
Everybody just beefing? What? What in the world?
When things fall apart, Jade.
That's why Lindsay keeps saying this is like a relationship. Kind of a relationship breakup is all kind of dirty laundry and name calling and yeah, man, the love done.
Yeah, love gone. Got to be replaced with something else.
Hate and what's that other one that makes people go a little nuts?
I just wish it was indifference. Can we just get some indifference, please?
Right, that they done. That ship has sailed.
Lado.
That ship has sailed, boy.
Lado. Hey, we're getting increase to the PAP.
Mean on it.
We're gonna defund PAP or defund the peace initiative.
But wasn't the others a part of the initiative when it first started?
That's a campaign. Hello?
Wasn't the others a part of the initiative? Weren't they a part of starting the initiative?
But the others said that they didn't know about how it was working.
The others also retracted those statements, sir. Did you not hear that part?
No idea about how it is working now.
But didn't you hear them literally say that that's not what it is?
What?
Did you not hear them retract those statements?
They actually retracted the statement that they didn't know about it.
Well, they fixed the statements. They did admit that they knew about it, and they did say that they do not want to remove it. You didn't remember that part?
Right. Okay. But the fact is, they did make the statement initially.
Yeah, but we're talking about the whole statement. Don't just talk about one part of the statement because that makes you seem like you have an agenda. Talk about the entire statement. That's what we do here, right? We talk about the entirety.
And also, and in the retraction, they said that they would make it more transparent because that is what I think most people have a problem with, the lack of transparency in the program.
I thought you said people have a problem with the fact that it seems like they're trying to control one sector of the population.
They are doing both. I mean, this is a campaign, you know, and so they're doing both. Okay, to make themselves look good and to make people fear that they're gonna be taking away people's money. I mean,
so which politician doesn't try to make themselves look good? Isn't that the goal of isn't that the goal of getting votes? Which politician doesn't try to make themselves look good? Name one.
But
just name one. Just one politician, in your opinion, that doesn't try to make themselves look good.
But you must also come with the facts.
I'm asking you a simple question, sir. Which politician out there doesn't try to make themselves look good?
I've answered your question. That this should also come with the facts. Of course, they will try to make themselves look good.
That's not answering my question because that's not what I asked.
Facts, right? And you can't tell me any responsible government, regardless of the shade, is going to come and just pull the rug from both those programs. Makes absolutely no sense. And they know it. But like I said, this is the time when you're going to color your opponent black, and you must be as white and as possible and pure as possible, right? And it's not, to me, it's disrespecting the intelligence of people when you make statements suggesting that they will do things which you know they will not do. Okay, it's disrespecting people's intelligence because, like I said, no responsible government would do something like that. These are two good
But hasn't
programs.
this happened in all governments?
No, it doesn't.
So
No.
which government has this not? Which ruling government has this not happened in?
There are governments that are accountable. You know that their governments are accountable. Every
I'm
government
asking
does
you
not
which
operate
one
like
because
this
you were
one.
making the statement.
What?
Which one?
I could tell you that.
Then do.
most of
What
the
you saying you
government-
can, just
Hold
do.
on, hold on. You asked me a question.
But you're not
Most the
answering any of my
governments
questions, sir.
In progressive countries have checks and balances that prevent these things from happening. We do not have them there.
So you're saying none of our government. So you're saying basically, let me hear you correctly. You're saying none of the governments that have ruled St. Kitts and Nevis have had these things in place.
No, they have never been in place.
Okay, thank you.
The kind of checks and balances. That is what we've been asking for since 2015, and it has not.
No. You said none of, not since 2015. So you said none of.
Right,
None of means since we've started having governments in St. Kitts and Nevis that this has not been in place. You said none of.
Right, none of them.
But
have
then you
had
just
the
said
checks
since
and balances that we
2015.
needed.
The government started before
No, but he's
2015.
saying he only started asking in 2015.
Oh, you only started. Oh, okay.
Not just me. It was campaign promises in 2015.
Sir, I'm asking you about the entirety of government in St. Kitts and Nevis. You just said none have. So why are you sticking at 2015? Did government start in 2015?
So what you're saying, that this should not change?
That's not what I'm saying. No, that I'm asking you very
So what
specific
are you
questions, sir.
So what are you saying?
I'm
I said
asking
none of the
you.
government
I'm
before
simply
had ever.
asking you, the person making these statements, when did these things start happening? You said in 2015. I asked you.
No, I did not say it started happening in 2015. I
So
did
they
not.
start asking. So you're asking since
none-
2015.
Oh, you've been asking since 2015.
Yeah, and other people.
No, I said none of the governments, even before 2015, have operated with sufficient checks and balances.
So then
In
why are you saying 2015
but
then?
In 2015,
Uh-huh.
these were promised, and they have not been delivered.
So it wasn't positive.
Since they have
So
no,
before that, there was no promises made that were not delivered on?
yes, as well. So what you're telling me, this should continue? I didn't finish some.
How you come to that conclusion?
That's what. How I came to what conclusion?
That we somehow suggested that these things should change.
Because when you go back to say that, well, this has never been the case and not been delivered.
No, way I said that. That's not what we said.
No, what we were saying is that you pointed out that these things have been asked for since 2015. Our contention is, I'm sure these things have been asked for since we become independent and instituted our own self-governance.
Right. But in 2015, they were highlighted and promised.
They were promised before that as well, sir. You know that.
But I'm saying that it was the mantra. You go back to the manifestos.
Yes, but
It was the mantra in 2015 to change things for the better, and they have not been changed. So what do? Keep the same thing, or try to change it?
I think the point that we are making is that we have a problem that is not centralized to any one government, party, politician. I think that's the point that we are trying to make. That's the point that we are trying to make.
But who said it was? But
when you suggest that we go back to a specific manifesto, a specific campaign promise made by a specific party, government, or contender for the election, then you recognize that it does come off like as if you're signaling out one particular group of people.
Well, you feel that way, but what I am.
No, you tell me go back to a specific manifesto.
What is accountability about? If you put down something in black and white, right, that you're going to deliver something and you don't deliver it, so where's the accountability?
Have you been keeping all the governments accountable? Or did we just start in 2015?
I haven't been politically active for all the governments. But I recognize,
but why not?
I have a sense of history, and I realize that since independence and before, right, we've had difficulties in our governance systems throughout. But what I'm saying is we can't keep doing the same things over and over and over again. We need to change how we do things.
I think that's the point we're making.
And at some point, somebody has to be held accountable for promising these things and not delivering on them. the current government is the one with the power to deliver these things. So these should be held more accountable than anybody else. The governments have failed in the past, and they have been kicked out. So what should happen to these who have failed now?
But this is that. But that is this is my issue is just that when we recognize that it seems not to matter who is in and what it is that the people do to them, and we have these situations. In other words, we can't keep doing the same things over and over and over again. And so to achieve what it is that we are trying to achieve, you have suggested on multiple occasions that what we do, if they didn't do what they say they're going to do, I mean, like what they do, kick them out. We've done that several times, right? And I agree that you must hold people accountable. However, the conversation, in my opinion, needs to move past just having the electorate use only the power of the ex. What I'm trying to suggest is not that we don't hold people accountable. It's not that we somehow ignore promises that weren't delivered upon or whatever. What I'm saying is that when we start talking about making the changes that we need to see, we have to move past simply saying, oh, well, these people in the want to get rid of them and put back in these people here.
And do what instead? What is your recommendation?
So my recommendation would be, for instance, when we start talking about, for instance, the issues that we, the people, feel need to be addressed, right? I've suggested on several occasions that what we need is NGOs and other groups that are at least seen to be non-political, right? They are the ones that take the issues from the electorate, from the people, and they're the ones that put it to the politicians. What seems to happen to me is that what seems to happen to me is that the politicians are the one that dictate what issues are important to the electorate based on what they choose to campaign on. Right,
but more
what ends up happening is that the narratives that follow us throughout the campaign, that follow us throughout the governance period, really a lot of times aren't coming out of the needs of the people, but are coming out based on what the politicians decide is in their best interest politically. And so you find a lot of times, a lot of things are swept under the rug, are not highlighted, and aren't really dealt with. And I feel like if we just continue to just wait and say, oh, well, look at the manifesto, they deliver what they want, drop the X, which, and I say, it's not that I disagree with you on what you're saying. I think we're going to have to find more ways to hold the politicians accountable. And so when we start putting across the conversation like as if, oh, well, look at what these people did, not really recognizing that this is a systemic thing. And it seems as though that no matter who we put in really doesn't have the political will to do the things that are necessary, then what's going to happen is just that we just have a revolving door of politicians. The country, at the same instance, we can't have a country that functions that way either.
Exactly. So what I'm saying, and your prescription about NGOs, we can't. Most NGOs are, in a sense, very elitist, and we can't go back. It's anti-democratic. For
NGOs are anti-democratic.
So, sorry, but we have to cut you. Sorry.
To be run by elites.
Sorry, but we have to cut you. Finish your point so we can move on.
So my issue is not that somehow the caller is not right in his suggestion that, hey, if politicians don't do what they said they were going to do, then they should be held accountable at the polls. Like, that's not the point. The point is that sometimes when we're having these conversations, we seem to neglect the fact that the issue might not be that these people didn't deliver on this promise, but that nobody seems to want to put the things in place that are necessary for us to have the type of government that we want. So if that is the issue, it can't just be put in another set, put in another set, put in another set. We've had enough of a sample where we could recognize by you don't see people really want to see these things. Look here, you start talking about campaign finance, everybody start to skirt around it. Yes, we have to look at it. We have to look at it. You start talking about some of these policies that we want to see in terms of checks and balances, holding people accountable, ways to stamp out corruption. We need to. We really need to.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah, we really need to. We always really need to.
But we don't.
And it don't matter who it is there.
Literally.
There are certain things, right? There are certain things that will, or let's say, can negatively impact the politicians. However, we depend on the politicians to be the one to institute these things. You understand where I'm coming from? Up to this morning, it was on my mind about how do we navigate that? How do we navigate recognizing that, hey, the persons who are in position to put certain things in place may be a bit reluctant to put things in place that either limit their powers, increase the level of accountability, demand a higher level of transparency. Like, how do we do that? And this is across the board. When we start thinking about why things like CARICOM and so can't work, how CARICOM can work? How? When the people who sitting on the CARICOM council making all the decisions, they're going to put things in place to undermine the power that they have in their own countries?
That don't make sense.
So that is what we're trying to navigate. It's not simply take out these and put in some. Yeah, that might be part of the solution as well. But I think we have to look past that.
Because we can't. Where we gonna find all these politicians from? Anybody want to be a politician?
No. Remember what happened is when you don't shut them out, then you have hope that they change and put them back in.
That's not how. That is not how that works.
Yeah,
that is definitely not how that works.
And I think until we recognize that, hey, the system as it's set up right now protects itself in a way that a lot of times who suffers is the same electorate, the same regular man, the same person who is not in the political class, not somehow associated with that class. Then we're just going around in circles.
Literally.
We're just going around in circles.
And it will not matter whose government is in.
Yes.
Because, again, these issues didn't start in 2015. We've been at these issues.
So my thing is we have to start having a conversation about what that looks like. Once we start having a conversation about what that looks like, then what happens is then how do we then exercise power? How do we then exercise influence on the political class for them to make the changes, not the changes that we want to see, but make the changes to the system so that the system could work for us and not for them. Because to me, it's a systemic thing, It's not just simply, we don't have the right politicians in place.
No, that's not.
It's a systemic thing. The system, there's something missing in the system
that we have yet to figure out or fix.
Yeah, there's some. So but if we don't have the conversation around it, then we're not gonna have any change.
No matter who is in power, we're going to have the same conversations, the same issues, the same talking points over and over and over. Like, so just keep continuously saying, just switch them out. Like,
the truth is that, for instance, the powers held by the Prime Minister, right, far-reaching. In regards to the system itself, the Prime Minister in our system has way more power than the President of the United States, right? Because they have the 3 branches of power. So, there's some accountability there, right? We don't really have that same checks and balances in our system, right? Even in England, they got the Queen. You understand where we're coming from? They got the monarchy. So, how do we set up something within our system that, hey, the legislative branch, right, the parliament, that they're obligated to institute the things that are demanded for by the electorate, I mean, you can't even watch America. America having problems with the same thing.
What's examples?
No, but specifically when it relates to, hey, we know that the vast majority of Americans want this, right? The vast majority of Americans want this. They want some movement on this particular issue. But politically, there's not the political will for the politicians to go ahead and do what they need to do and put things in place, right? So what happens? The issue just stay there and nothing happens, right? That is a problem that is a problem that we have. I keep saying I believe that what's going to happen is democracy as we know it is going to eventually fizzle out. Yeah.
Well, Kadash.
And you're gonna have and then no, but you're gonna have more localized representation, more municipalities. Like Sandy Point already, it's Home Republic anyway.
Yeah, no, that's the example of all.
No, but I think that I just want to see us move some of these conversations further.
Yeah, keep repeating the same things over and over is not going to change or help or do anything but frustrate the public. Because repeating, we need to change them out, Okay, we change them out and then what?
No, but and then not only that, we change them out and then what happens is the same people that said change them out saying give them another chance. And then the people out saying change them up. Like that's like we're going
that is circles. Ridiculous. That is insanity.
Like for instance, we've been talking about things like electoral reform forever. The need for constitutional reform, right? We've been talking about these things. Everybody know the boundary them make no sense. The boundary them don't make no sense. Like when the boundaries were drawn, it was drawn for the particular time. St. Peter's supposed to be its own constituency. St. Peter's and Keyon and Connery and Keys and all that, like it ain't making no sense, right? But everybody knows this, and everybody has known this for the last 20 years, and we can't get it done.
No.
Right? We can't get it done. It don't matter who in there. Because it does not matter who in there.
So when it just comes up around election time, big hot topic, none changes, then we go back silent.
So what is, how do we ensure that what needs to happen happens, especially in the cases where it's not politically expedient for the government of the time? How do we ensure that? And I think that's the question that we need to ask.
Yeah. I agree.
We start talking about things like people wanting to move to a republic-style system. Okay, cool.
We can't even figure out the system we got yet.
Talking about that there. Anybody does actually go check the ombudsman? The ombudsman actually do work?
What does he do? I keep asking this question, The
ombudsman's supposed to be the place that you go to. Basically, if you have an issue with the government, pretty much.
Then he must be... Then he has to be busy.
And that's a serious oversimplification, yes.
Well, even but if that is his job, he must be busy as him. We should be seeing lines upon lines by his door based on the climate that we are currently in. But every time I pass the office, nobody there.
I don't even know if the office is open. Who's the ombudsman?
Me, Fed man, I thought, That was going to be my next question to you. Somebody tell us, please, who is the ombudsman? Somebody said who?
Yeah, I think the office by the square.
Yes.
Yeah, the office by the square.
As I said, every time I pass the office, there's no line. There's not even a person waiting by the door. But based on your definition of his job, there should be lines wrapping around the square.
No, man, we could just go to the top of 4th Street and go live.
Oh.
If Jupak was the ombudsman,
listen. So now I don't take it serious, This is how I don't take it serious.
Yeah.
Because how I mix it up, Uncle Jupan in this.
Yeah. Bye.
Maybe it's for Joe.
Bye. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Yeah, good morning to you two young people there.
Morning.
You always have I can't tell how long you should have engaged that man there. But he's a biased fellow. Let me go back because I'm old enough to be our grandparent. During my young years coming up, I was only able to vote yet. Under the branch of government, I know there was a time when we got 6 tins of milk. I think must have come from UNESCO or wherever. We got 6 tins of mackerel. You must have heard people talk about the mackerel and the flour. 6 tins of mackerel. Poor people were looking out for that.
There was a time when you used to go to school, I go to bar school, and you get a glass of milk powder, we call it milk powder. Some poor people would go to the health center and you get cod liver oil, the most rancid thing you could think about, and you had to drink that. So government, for me to Miss Small, was handing out things to poor people. To say he is one of those people who's saying that government is giving all these people this peace program. I don't know, because a fella point them out to me and say, you see those people there? They're getting money. Well, how many people who would prefer to get a proper job than to get handout, $500, $600, whatever? I mean, he lives in a perfect world. That individual admit on air, on patches, that he had 2 jobs, was spending less time in the one he's supposed to spend more time in, and was working at an establishment in the industrial side. Government is going to always offer people handouts. Government, no matter what you do. And they're going to be people who prefer to get the handout than to work. So if he's trying to tell the populace that people prefer to work than to get handouts, then you got it all wrong. You must be honest. It's human beings you're dealing with. If I go downtown with $400 in my pocket, and everybody, they may not accept $40. I give $100. Some people may ask, this is real? What are you giving me this for? If I convince them enough, they will take the $100 and walk off with it. People like things free. He wants a perfect government, and the only perfect government we'll ever have is when God comes for you all. He must stop fooling people and talking the kind of nonsense. People like freeness, people like free bread. You see how much people go down by Amory and get free bread. When you say free, when you buy one, you get one free. Man buying 25 loaves of bread, so much so that cars got to come and pack up and give them the amount of bread. People like freeness. If you want to live in a world there is no freeness, then you should create your own world. But stop fooling people, man. Stop fooling people. Because all governments, as the young lady said the other thing, that all governments, this ain't just happened in 2015. You must be honest, man. Jesus, peace. Thank you.
All right. As it relates to that whole thing, like again, sometimes this how things are characterized that have me diverging from the person's view. Because, for instance, my issue with some of the social safety nets, and bear in mind, I lived in the States. I know people who were on disability. I know people who were on the on food stamps. Mm-hmm. I know people who were receiving, unemployment, etc.
Some form of help.
No, this is the issue. Let me give you my view on this thing. One, are these social safety nets necessary? Yes. Obviously. The issue that was happening in the and still happens in the US is when, and this is what happens when you start talking about dependency and people preferring to be on these programs as opposed to getting a job. The issue is that a lot of these people had been working before. Mm-hmm. But what they found out was that they were able to enjoy a better standard of living by not working. It's not a matter that they just walk out there and just stay home because they're getting things free. That's not the dynamic. The dynamic is if your unemployment check is more than your employment check, then what would you prefer? So they go and get a job, but it's simple because of the level of they're able to better meet their needs. Mm-hmm. But so in that way, the program was incentivizing persons to stay on the program. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you could say that about the PAP. It's $500.
Exactly.
Max. Remember, everybody $500. Yeah. It's to bring you to a certain level, right? So to me, what that does, it recognizes that if you just go out and give people X amount of money, right, then you can end up creating a situation where people it's incentivized not to work. I don't think the PAP, as I understand it, operates that way. Because what it does, from my understanding, it gives you up to $500 right now. Up to $500 depending on your current income, if your income is below a certain level, right?
Yeah.
So it brings you to the certain level. That is my understanding. So I see that as, I don't know if you could really make that. I don't know if you could really make that comparison in that particular way. Now, I do agree that the government needs to continue to create an environment where persons are able to be gainfully employed and live and earn a livable wage, right? So, is it that it's suggested that has not been happening? I don't know. I don't think that is the case. I don't think the government goes, well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna just put people on the PAP, and we're not gonna do things to continually create employment.
Yeah, because that's not sustainable.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening now. I don't think any government has thought that to be the case. I do believe that there's been governments that have done things to foster dependency on the government and the politicians themselves, which I have a serious problem with, right? When you start handing out government services, homes, etc., people don't walk out there and have to pay because they get it and they want to lose my vote and them kind of stupidness there. You start acting as if like you're doing me a favor by just because I was able to be on one of these programs, like I was somehow selected, but I have to pay. Like I'm a citizen of this country, I pay taxes. I applied for a certain thing, I got through. So is that you're telling me that, well, I get you because, what? Not because of the merits of my application, but because you decide that you're doing me a blight?
Yeah, that's not.
And then I still got pay? So like, yeah, them is the kind of issues I have, like in terms of government's faster independency. But I don't know if I totally agree with the fact that the social safety nets as presently constituted create a situation where people prefer not to work.
I've never heard that.
You understand where I'm coming from? So, and not only that, like we can't deny the fact that there are people within society that need help. Look, anywhere you think it's, anywhere you go and think it's, you find these pockets of poverty. Like you can't deny it. Like sometimes we just it don't matter. Kayan, Harvey, Sandy Point, St. Paul's, right here in town, there are pockets of poverty. There are people who literally have, like, they live in shacks. We're talking right in town.
Yeah.
They're saying somehow relegated to the rural areas. So I don't think those people are somehow just in that situation because they're just lazy and shiftless.
No,
as a matter of fact, I know people who live in some of these situations who they work hard. They work hard. It's just that maybe based on the skill set, maybe based on other circumstances, they're at a place now where they can't. They're just not in a place where they could focus on things. Some of them they're strapped with so much debt that all they're doing is servicing the debt, and they can't even pull themselves out of the poverty that they're in. They can't, like, there's people who work, look, Jay, you got people working they're not working for minimum wage, but they can't afford a proper place to live. They can't pay the rent. When we start talking about things that we need to do to lift people out of poverty, affordable housing got to be one of them, Jade.
That has to be.
The rent is ridiculous.
Listen, renting thing gets. Nevis looking a little better. I don't know. An division could correct me.
No, but the NHC over there functions differently, Jade, and you see it in the homes.
I don't know what happened in St. Kitts.
You see it in the homes.
Tides turned and got us into this situation, but somebody needs to honestly fix it.
No, but you see what happened when people start using housing as a political tool, in the way that we do it. You're gonna end up with these things. You're gonna end up with these things.
I don't know, bye.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like we're gonna have to, and that's the issue. Like sometimes when people speak, it's not that what you're saying is wrong. It's not. But sometimes the way you put it across, it alienates people from your point.
It literally comes off as bias, and nobody. To be honest, nobody wants to sit and listen to somebody that seems to be biased.
Unless it enforces your own biases.
Unless it... Other than that, no, people going to tune you out. People going to stop listening. You might have a very valid point mixed in there somewhere. But because of your biases, it gets lost.
But that's what you got to do, Jade. You got to mix in. You got to mix in a little truth. You got to mix in a little...
A little truth.
You got to mix in a little something in there, girl. But yeah, let's go to this caller. Say, good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Yeah, I put two scenarios to you. If you have, let's say you're in a household that is making $2,900.
Hold on. Sorry, I didn't hear the first part. If what?
If you're living in a household that makes $2,900, that is just $100 short of the threshold to receive TAP, which is $3,000 per household, right? What incentive is there for you to cross that $3,000 threshold? Let's say by working overtime or getting a part-time job or something like that. None. Another scenario.
Excuse me?
Wait, how are you asking us a question and answering it?
But okay. I don't think you could always just go ahead and say, like, if somebody making $2,900, a household making that there is no incentive because they're gonna get the extra $100 to make it $3,000. That's
no,
what
they get $500. Not the extra $100. They can make $500.
Okay, so they get $500, but you just call and say that persons prefer to be gainfully employed and work.
Yes, of
so
course.
so is it so?
You also just said that if by staying home, right, they make more.
No, what I'm saying.
That's not what he said, sir. That's not what he said. Please listen.
What I'm saying is that when people start talking about the issues with the social safety nets that exist in the U.S., right, that is one of the things that is brought up. The fact that persons, they want to work. It's not that they don't want to work, but it so happens that the job that they have, the job that they could go back to based on, maybe they were made redundant and then now the job, the position opens up again based on the turn in the economy or whatever it is. They recognize that, hey, it's not that they don't want to work, but when they go back to work, so that's a wage issue. That's not the social safety net issue. That's a wage issue. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, so,
but how you mean that's not a
that's a wage issue. That's a wage issue. What is happening is that the wages are too low for people to live. That's the issue. It's not that they don't want to work.
But that's what a social intervention program is designed to do.
Exactly. So you can't just look at it and say. So you can't just look at it and somehow decide that these people just don't want to work because they're getting this money. The situation is way more complex than that.
What is the incentive? I didn't say they don't want to work, you know.
What I'm saying is the situation is way more complex than that.
Of course it is.
And it's very unique. It's very unique and specialized to the individual and individual households. Everybody don't have the same option to go and work overtime. Everybody have the same option.
Exactly. Everybody not making $2,900 per household. And I'm pretty sure you know this.
I mean, I ain't got into that this man no more, to be honest. Like, I really, like, y'all don't got to me by. Me had it in today.
Like, what you?
Like,
anyway.
Yeah, me had it in.
Matter of fact, let's take a break.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock for real.
Let's just take a break because...
It's 9 o'clock. But yeah, guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back with more LNT right here on Win Media SKN. Please stick and stay.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Good morning, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Island T right and Win Media SKN. Shenanigans are afoot. This you're calling me, Jane. This person need to call in on the radio.
I'm sure you can tell me why.
Oh boy, but yeah, guys, we are. No, that's one the man who call in on the radio. But
he needs to. Maybe that was what we were trying to do. And good game. You want to take one more call before we move on to afraid?
Me afraid. Never afraid. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Boy, thanks for answering me, boy. I've been trying now for over an hour.
I see you there. I see you calling me on the phone, too, I said, but let me take this one call and see if it's you.
Boy, yeah. I've become a regular now on your show. Let me say this in a quick minute. You see, one of the problems I'm having, right, is the honesty of people. And I call and mention it, right? If we would have, okay, in other words, you're commentating a game, let's say cricket, but I'm back in one side. So the fellow bowled a very nice, it was an unplayable ball, a great ball, but because I'm not back in that side, I'm going to commentate a certain way and say, oh, I just passed outside the off into the wicketkeeper's glove.
Right.
You get me?
Yeah, I got you.
You don't want to commentate the game as it is. And try to be as fair as possible. And try to be a little more humane. And you're so right. There's something, if I can recall, I remember when one government built some houses and the opposition called them half a hogged. No, in my humble opinion, that's the people's palace. That's what the people could have afforded at the time, and they were happy to have it because I think it was free too. And so they were glad for it. But when you will call what the people got, it would have been that or nothing. Will you call it a half a hogged? No, those things bother me as a human being. So we got to be careful what we say about what people have, because if you have never been poor and never been in great need and have a lot of children staying down your eye for a next bread, and then you're going to criticize a $500 somebody gets. Now, if they say walk a mile in the shoe, but they tell you walk 3 steps in somebody's shoe. And I want us to be very honest and so that especially not somebody who just back in a party and go and criticize whatever the other side does. I hate that. Because remember, people are involved. Not politicians here. People are involved, and we got to be very careful what we say about people and how people are living.
Right.
And another note, I want us to be very careful with. I have seen it over and over again, where we're more concerned about parties than country and what is being done for us as a country. We got to get away from that. We need, I think, to get away from that. And as educators and people who are more, in other words, let me draw this attention to you. I see people calling very angry and hurt about things done to them. And people just take it as though it's just, oh, man, he just, if I lose my job and I have 2 children to feed, and the nature in which I lost my job, I got to be very angry and upset.
Right.
And why nobody wants to take careful attention to something like that? And brand it. Yes, the person might be speaking along a political line. But why brand it? I'm concerned about that. And as well as people in their anger, maligning others without understanding the nature of the job. I hate that. And I want to say this. Let me say this. I don't know how long I'll be able to call in, but let me say this. I heard a gentleman attacking my good friend and colleague, Carlin Morton. And I'm very angry about it, because if you don't know the nature of the job, then don't speak to it. As a principal, your main purpose is to protect your students and your staff. It has nothing to. That's your job as a principal. And so when you're going to bring her into political whatever, let me tell you something. If I was the one dealing with the Basel High School, I mean, you know me, you know. You know me. I protect my students and my staff. Let politicians make the decision down Short Street. But it's for me and my job at the end of the day to ensure that my students are safe. And it bothers me when I hear them attacking her. And this is the very thing that pulled me out of my shell. They pulled me out of my shell. Those things are wrong. And let's be honest and fair and respectful to people and the positions they hold.
Right.
That's all I have to say.
All right, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate your contribution. Yeah, Jade, I think for me, when we start talking about these programs, I think, and I say it here all the time, a lot of times in these conversations, what gets pushed aside is humanity. Like, the humanity, like, we're talking about people.
We're literally talking about people.
Like, these programs, they come about because of a recognition of some lack. Now, of course, the government, something, they could politicize it. They could use it for their own political advantage and stuff like that, right? But at the end of the day, the need exists. The need exists. You think the people them who in these positions ain't grateful? You think because the people, you think because the politicians politicize it, that the people them still don't need it?
Apparently, friend.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it might even signal a failure of the system or the government itself that people are in the need that they are. But you think the people ain't in the need?
I would prefer the conversation to be about how do we get as many people as possible to a place where this isn't the need that they have. But that's not the current situation. This is a need that many people have, especially coming out of a pandemic where people literally lost their jobs and their livelihoods. How are we forgetting all of these things?
Jade, poverty exists, right?
And it has always existed.
Poverty exists. There are people who, for a multitude of reasons, right? You know how much people struggling simply because they're dealing with depression and they don't know? Struggling to get out of bed every day to go to work and they don't understand why. They just think life hard. They don't even understand what's going on with them. You understand?
Exactly.
Yeah, of course, I can have an issue when you start to politicize certain things or whatever, and we could have those conversations. Right? But I just sometimes it does feel like we just miss out on the human element in these conversations. You know what I mean? We talk very smart and we're educated and we use nice big words and we talk in proper English and then all of a sudden we can remember subject verb agreement, but we can't remember that we're talking about people.
Mm-hmm.
And we all guilty of it. I guilty of it. We all guilty. The politician them guilty of it. Everybody guilty of it because everybody does start to talk about these issues from whatever particular perspective that they have and whatever agenda it is they're fighting for. So we all guilty of it. But we have to remain just. We're talking about people, right? We're talking about people. Like, it ain't easy, man. Like, it ain't easy. Like, you start talking about a household, somebody got 2,900 and now they're eligible for the 500. But get the $500, man.
Like,
You don't know because no. I'll tell you why, Jade. I'll tell you why. Because what happened is that there must be a recognition that at that point the household must struggle, right? The household must the household must struggle. Why? The household is a mother in there who done working 2 jobs. She go in the morning, she clean somebody home, she come in the afternoon, she go take care of this old lady who somebody paying her some money to take care of. So what is she supposed to do?
I think a lot of the times, a lot of people, because they're not in the situations to understand how people are living, they feel like it's not important. They feel like, that they don't need to get this because I am not getting this. Sir, this is not about you people. This is not about you. You are living fine. You don't have these things happening to you. But there's the other side. People are living this way. People need help. People need assistance. Every household is not the same. Stop counting people's pockets because you don't know what is happening in that household.
There's a recognition that there are these pockets of poverty, right? There's also recognition that there's a lot of different factors as to why persons might be there. For instance, even with the disability assistance. I don't remember. Sorry, guys, I can't remember all the names of all the programs.
Too many programs, right? And not too many programs, too many abbreviations.
I can't remember all of them. PAP, STEP, PEP, ALT. But anyway. So there's a recognition that, hey, there's people who have, in other words then, you being blessed with a child who has special needs. Mm-hmm. That is not dependent on your financial situation.
Not at all.
But however you look at it, this child has special needs. Those special needs cost money. Mm-hmm. So there are going to be people who are blessed with these children who struggle because of the specific needs of the child. Mm-hmm. And so that recognition of that fact, you put things in place to assist them, right? It doesn't mean that somehow the person isn't trying. It doesn't even also mean that the environment doesn't exist where this person or other persons can do better. The thing is, if you can do better, do better.
That's it.
Right? Yeah, that's what we want.
But everybody not in the same situation.
Everybody not in the same situation.
At the end of the day. Anyway, let's move on to something that's quick. Because I know y'all want to talk about this too. Anyway. CEO, we just talked about these abbreviations. Anyway, CEO of CIU addresses the construction cost of new prison. Projects that form part of the CBI program's investment offerings are under scrutiny. Most recently, the former Deputy Prime Minister, Sean Richards, focused on the new correctional facility being built on St. Kitts in Estridge. The capital project has been used as a campaign topic that questions the current makeup of the government, running a cabinet with 3 of 11 elected officials and 3 appointed. A decision has been taken to build a prison as an approved CBI project, but let us ask some questions. Why would a prison cost almost $2 billion? The project has been approved through the sale of 5,000 passports at a cost of US $175,000 per passport. That equals to US $875 million, said Sean Richards. The CEO of the St. Kitts Nevis Citizen by Investment Unit, CIU, Lescan, addresses the claims made by the leader of the People's Action Movement during an interview with Ian Patches Library on his... This is what this lady was talking about yesterday. I feel like this is what she was talking about. This is what she was talking about yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Khan said the situation from the CIU's perspective needs clarifying and that the numbers shared by Richards are taken out of context. The correctional facility is a CBI project that falls under the alternative investment option of the program within the initiative of privately funded state-owned projects, the first of which is New Correctional Facility. Based on the information in the clip that I heard just there, the thought is that there was an allocation of 5,500 shares and that it's equal to 2.2 billion EC. There's an assumption here that 2.2 billion is being taken away from the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. There is no 2.2 billion. There is 5,500, whatever the number is in terms of the number of shares that have been allocated to assist the developer in recovering the investment. He continued to quote, a number like 2.2 billion is basically misleading in the sense that it's assuming that the developer is selling at US 175,000.
Correct.
Now the difference between the privately funded and the state-owned, the privately funded is at 200,000 US, the state-owned is at 175,000. For a family of 4. In both initiatives, the developer, regardless of which side of the fence it is, pays government fees. So if we were truly to look at the new correctional facility and we look at how much money the country would actually get from that, it would be hundreds of millions of US dollars. Multiply that by 2.6 and that would be over a period of 1, 2 or 3 years, whatever it takes for the developer to be able to sell those.
Correct.
Let's call it a unit of investments because they're not really shares. So 2.2 billion does not exist. It's never coming out of the government's coffers. Actually, there's money going into the government's coffers. In the alternative investment option for the new correctional facility, the country gets an asset, an infrastructure asset, and one that they would not have to be able to finance over a period of time.
Indeed.
According to the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Unit, upon submission of an application, non-refundable due diligence and processing fees must be paid.
Correct.
US $7,500
Yep.
for the main applicant and US $4,000 for each dependent of the main applicant who is over the age of 16 years old. The CEO suggests that the market currently determines the price per unit of investment as it is a competitive market, meaning that the developer of various projects with CBI options would have to cut sales prices to receive revenue for construction.
Yep.
You know, I've been hearing the clips. I've been hearing the statements about the prison. The new correctional facility is costing $2.2 billion. We need to break down the numbers to understand what is really happening. When a developer gets a share, be it at real estate side or it's under the alternative investment option, there are a number of factors that have to be taken into consideration. Number one is the market condition, where he is selling or he or she is selling, and what the price he can sell at. I can assure you that it's not 175,000 and it's not 200,000. So there are market conditions out there in the Middle East, in Russia, when Russia is open, in China, and it's very competitive market. We are competing with the likes of Dominica, Antigua, St. Lucia, and Grenada,
St. Lucia not play right now,
where the pricing is so tight that the developer has to take deep discount on his sale price just to be able to sell and get some revenue for construction.
Yep.
Can reminded that the public that the CBI unit does not approve projects. That decision comes from the cabinet when advice from the St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency, Skipper, on behalf of developer.
Mm-hmm.
Should I continue?
I think I get the I think I get the gist.
I think so too.
Like we're gonna have to figure out what is it that we want, right? When as it relates to this program. It's been evolving, right? It's been evolving over time. And so I contend that there's going to be even more evolution as we go forward, right? This alternative investment option is just a new part of the evolution of the program. And one that I might add has been called for by people for years. You know how much times you've been hearing, where they don't take the CBI money and use it to build this. Where they don't take the CBI money and use it to do all kind of things, It was real estate, remember it was limited to real estate before, real estate and land. They said, well, look here. Why don't we take this program and be able to direct it in a way that could help to fund some of the projects that the country needs, right? Outside of people just getting a passport and a condo. So here we are. We start doing that now. More problems.
You cannot please people
More problems.
You cannot please people, and especially around these times. Oh my God, everything is going to be an issue.
Look, this is the thing, Jade. People are going to have their own priorities and things that they're interested in, right? I don't believe a lot of us really care about how the program works. Because the information there, it ain't hard, It's not hard.
It's easy to find.
Like the fact that, and I am not no expert in CBI.
Me was.
But I was there saying to myself, like, when I heard the clips, I was like, but that can't be right. Like, because from my understanding, if the cost of the investment is XYZ, then that money gets split up into different things. You have the agents, right? You have the local agents here. Then government fees are paid. Developer have to get their cut of the money. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yep.
So, like, to do the simple maths, like, hey, just multiply this by how much passports, and that's how much money the thing costs. Like, I felt that was maybe a bit misleading.
A bit? Do you think that was intentional? Because a bunch of people running with that narrative, like they're just saying $2 billion for a prison. And instead of breaking it down and actually giving the correct numbers.
But again, I feel like this comes out, this was, whether it was intentional or not, I don't know. I don't know what was in his head. But what I can say is that because a lot of people don't fully understand how the program works, and it's not that the information isn't there. It's just that people have other priorities.
Yeah, they're gonna take the time to go look through it.
Yeah, people ain't studying like how the CBI program works. If I think if that was the case, we probably got a lot more people here doing CBI. But what I'm saying is because people are ignorant to how the program works, that narrative like took root, right? So it's not that I don't believe that you can't point out ways in which the program can continue to evolve and improve. But you see, when these kind of things happen, then it just
Bye.
And then the thing that forces you to question is like, but wait there, this ain't something that was approved like last week.
No, he said it in cabinet. This was approved in cabinet. Somebody say explanation way off.
Well, it could be way off, right? But what I'm saying is, if it's an issue that there's a discrepancy between the figures, then it's like, okay, one, people can start to wonder, well, who do you believe? Is it a matter that you believe that the man in charge of the program line? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say next. He lying, he covering up with him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's there. That's
That's literally what I'm going to say. They're covering up for PLP and the corrupt government. Listen, you
And
cannot win.
my thing is, I don't believe that somehow that Sean. Let me put it this way: it don't mean that the program is somehow perfect, you know.
No.
Again, we have to continue to evolve these things and learn and whatever. But it's like when you come in, you gotta come correct here, you gotta come good, because then what happens is then it stifles the evolution, stifles the growth, because now we questioning your agenda, we questioning your validity, and if your intentions are pure, right? And so when we have to now stop and sort out all of that before we just deal with the ways in which we could actually just improve the program, then
I just feel like instead of trying to figure out better solutions, people like to complain about the problems. Like I don't know why, but something about complaining about the problem makes them feel better. Like they don't have no solution.
Because what happens is that the problem isn't the problem.
Is the
The people is the problem. So what happens is, what you're really trying to do is not draw attention to the problem so that we could fix it. You're trying to draw attention to the people who instituted the thing that you see as a problem, so that they could receive some type of negative impact.
Oh, well, so you want to take a call before we move on to the other story?
Sure, why not? Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
My friend, I discussion is so great this morning. I have to call again. You see what I'm talking about? Being honest. Who is telling the truth here? Now, if I say, well, I'm going to go with the Honorable Sean Richards, somebody going to say I back him Pam. And if I say no, I'm going with what the
Mr. Khan.
Yeah, they're going to say, oh, see there, I'm back in PLP. So what we want here now is an honest opinion on matters of this nature. And I want to add some more to it too. He even went on to say that his brother and good friends, or families and good friends, are employed in the building of this project, right? No, let's be honest. I'm not saying that if that is so, it's right. Okay, don't get me wrong. But I study construction, and if I get a turnkey contract to do a project, I am the one who employ people. If you ask him,
right?
If you give me a turnkey contract, then you can decide who I employ.
Correct.
I mean, it will be nice if other people are involved, yes. But if this particular contractor chooses who he wants to pursue his project, because at the end of the day, it's his sign on the dotted line. And if his project does not, if the project is not finished by a particular time and to a particular standard, he's going to be held accountable. So you're going to ask him man now to decide who you're going to do it. Or you're going to give him a list and say, okay, I'm going to give you this project, but these are a list of people who you don't employ. And then the man must sign a contract, say, okay, I must not take anything from CDC. I must not take anything from this person. I must only take from that. Well, I don't know the nature of the contract. I do not know the nature of the contract. So we got to be very careful here. And what's the nature of the contract? So when we come in out to explain these things to people, let us know also the nature of the contract the truth behind it. Now, if you come and tell me the contract said those things, then you hold the person to the fire. I'm finished with that one.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, hopefully, we can get some more interviews with Mr. Ken. Hopefully, the news team, our good old news team, who's always working very diligently.
And hopefully they know the prison out the tongue.
That's
That's what we
all
need
it-
to
that's-
Let's
I mean, listen.
hopefully they know the prison out the tongue. Lord, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if this is something that is viable, that we could use this as a way to, instead of, like I said, instead of just rewarding people with timeshares and condos, we could get some infrastructure that the country really need, that things that really affect the entirety of the population based on these investments. Let's worry about that there.
Let me ask you a question. If this project was not for the prison and was for the hospital, you think they would have the same?
Yes, they got problems still, Jade. But it does make it easier, because of course now the narrative is, instead of building school and building things for they building things to lock up all. They don't build no schools anymore. All they build will be prison.
Build one little prison on everybody. Up in arms. Bye.
Oh boy, you got love politics, man.
Have to love it, bye. What
You
a
got
thing.
to love it.
What
You
a
gotta
thing.
love it.
Cause let me lighten up the place here. Y'all been all tense all morning.
Yeah, let me down.
So a dead body drifting in a canal turns out to be a man meditating.
What you said?
A dead body drifting in a canal turns out to be a man meditating.
Oh, I missed this one this morning.
Better.
Tell me more.
A dead body drifting in a Thailand canal turned out to be an old man meditating. The body sparked panic among locals after they saw it floating in the dirty water among garbage in the Thai capital city of Bangkok on June 20th. However, when one of them climbed down to check the body, it moved and talked, confusing locals more.
Oh boy.
The old man then said sorry, he was only meditating, while officials did a health checkup on him and sent him home. Rescuer Samat Promvog said, "We thought he was already dead. Everybody was shouting, but he was not moving." The man meditating.
The man deep in meditation. But you touch him and make, excuse me?
Why you
You really did. Why you disturbing me, sir?
Bro, I would have passed out, you know? Because... Anyway.
I want to get to the level of meditation, that meditation
Why?
of stillness and peace.
The man on.
I want to get to the level of stillness, calm. Might be better able to deal with certain callers.
Indeed. When someone tried to pull him out of the water, he suddenly talked. He said he was only meditating. The volunteers did a health check on him and found that he was generally healthy before taking him home.
The man actually more healthy than I.
Yeah.
The man's spirit is in tune.
Mind, body, and soul.
Connection on fleek.
This is what some of these ministers want, to meditate. This man needs to come teach these ministers how to meditate.
I have not been meditating recently. I have to get back to it. Cause
It helps.
Jade, let me tell you something, right? I started meditating and a life changer.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to be at peace, be at one with oneself.
I don't wake up early enough to be at peace.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm
telling you. I tell you, that is a real thing, Jade. People,
meditation, yes.
Meditation is a real thing. Sometimes you just got to take some time and just simmer.
Yeah, man. I had to tense. A lot of y'all right now on this election campaign around politicians,
Jade?
all of these things, y'all need to simmer.
The day after election, people can ball now.
I better start to meditate from now.
Meditate from now.
But
Some
guess
are
what?
can ball.
Don't study that. The man them with the green
Mm-hmm.
the green bush them, They're gonna make some money. Call it y'all.
The next day looking for your connect.
All before.
I'll be-
Next day? That week, dear
Watch
boy.
here, when I cast my vote, Jay, they're gonna sleep here.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people keep saying. I don't know if y'all feel like when y'all go sleep, y'all ain't gonna wake up to the news, but
When I cast my vote, I going straight to sleep.
you go to sleep, you gonna wake up eventually, friend.
All I need to do, I can go through the results and everything, but man, losing my sleep. I don't do my constitutional my civic duty.
I glad I live out the way, you know, so me ain't gonna hear nobody crying. And my neighbors them ain't from here, so me ain't got to worry.
You know where I live here.
Yeah.
You know where I live. And I am actually certain that I will hear the screams. And my closest neighbor is about a mile away.
Well, guys, just remember to lock into Win FM for Election Watch.
Election watch.
Of course, we'll have some very interesting panelists monitoring the election results over the night.
Can I make a request?
Sure. And I feel like I'm going to deny it, but go ahead.
I am requesting that some of the persons that are invited to be a part of the election coverage, whether Win FM or any other station, are some of the most die-hard, staunch, vocal political supporters.
So you want
I
people
want
cry
I
live?
want to see the cry live.
I know, is that?
I want to see the cry live. That is going to
I know,
make
is that,
such
you know?
that's going to make such good content, Jade.
No, you're probably right.
We might just see the rejoicing.
Yeah.
That is also good.
Upstairs, I hope you're listening, you know.
You can imagine what it would be like if Talk Puppy in here when the results that he wanted are realized.
Not realized.
I mean, either way he can cry, so it don't matter. Either way,
Facts.
Talk Puppy can cry.
Just torture yourself with FM.
It either gonna be tears of joy or tears of complete anguish.
You give me hiccups now.
But I'm making that request. Let's identify them. Alright. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, some of y'all need to start meditation from now.
Because boy, gonna be a rough month for y'all. July?
Today is Wednesday, 2 more days in the week. For the rest of the week, you're getting Zen Azem, eh? Zen Azem. I done coming in here with my head wrap. Nobody gonna get me off of my
Zedness.
Nobody gonna be able to disturb my Zen. Don't worry about it, man.
Well, friend, from here is all downhill, so let's just jump right into it.
Oh my God.
We have an update on a story that we were following. Don't know if Azim was following in the week, but I was for sure. And I tell him so, you know. So, Ghislaine Maxwell sentenced to 20 years in prison for sex trafficking. I tell you so, you know.
You did.
I tell you so, she ain't gonna get away.
You did.
They have to punish somebody and everybody else done dead.
I can admit when I was wrong. I was wrong on this one. I really thought that she was going to get away on some technicality. No, I really thought so. Jade, and you wouldn't have been surprised if that happened, though.
No, but I know that was gonna lock up, Azim. I just felt like that was gonna lock up.
Yeah, I was definitely.
Epstein done kill it, allegedly, because
Yeah, Epstein has transitioned. Let's put it that way.
yes, he's no longer with us.
Even that they're alleged, but
However, says Miss Ghislaine here still. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison on Tuesday for helping the sex offender and globe-trotting financier Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse teenage girls. The British socialite, who is 60 years old, was convicted in December for recruiting and grooming 4 girls to have sexual encounters with Epstein, her then boyfriend, between 1994 and 2004. The month-long trial was widely seen as the reckoning that Epstein, who killed himself in a Manhattan jail cell in 2019 at the age of 66, while awaiting his own sex trafficking trial, never had. It was one of the highest-profile cases in the wake of the Me Too movement, which encouraged women to speak out about sexual abuse, often at the hands of wealthy and powerful people. In often emotional and explicit testimony during the trial, 4 women testified that Maxwell was a central figure in their abuse by Epstein. U.S. Circuit Judge Allison Nathan read the sentence at a hearing in Manhattan federal court. Prosecutors last week called Maxwell's conduct shockingly predatory. Why shocking?
Look, I don't expect people to do that. I think that's what I mean. You don't expect people to. No, you don't. It's shockingly. Jade is shockingly predatory. You don't expect to hear, oh, this girl was busy grooming up underage girls to have sex with her boyfriend. Like, that's not something that you hear all the time.
Yeah, but I watch enough things to know this is regular, man.
It's still shocking, Jade.
Maybe to y'all.
Jade, that isn't regular, Jade.
Okay, well, maybe I strange then.
Jade, it's not. Jade,
no, it's not regular. Most people don't consume this type of content.
No,
but I do, so no, I know.
No, you understand that it happens.
A lot.
But that doesn't mean that it's not shocking.
Far more than it should.
Jade, most women aren't down with their significant others having sexual relations with other women. Never mind.
Thank God.
Never mind, you are the one that's sorting it out. Never mind, the girls them underage. So, of course, it's shocking.
Bruh.
It's shocking, Jade.
Like, I tell you, it's because of the things I just be watching, you know. Because I'm like, this ain't...
I have no problem with none of this until they get to the underage party.
Yeah, man.
You know what it's then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well...
My only problem with this whole thing is here. So when we're going to start talking about the parents then?
Why? They don't see that as an important factor in this.
Jade, so no negligence, no nothing on behalf of the parents them?
No, you should.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand.
When I watched
Ghislaine and Epstein need to get what coming to them, but I'm trying to figure out, well, nobody plan to talk to the parents then?
When I watched the documentaries, right, I was watching out of these parents sideways like, so y'all ain't realize y'all just got y'all daughters playing around with nothing strange here too, are you?
Jade.
Because remember, they were on these planes going to different islands with these people, you know.
Jade, your underage daughter just up and down with millionaires running around.
And you ain't
and
you're
home sleeping cool? Jade, but come on, you know what's going on. You know what going on,
a lot of these mothers wasn't caring.
They know what's
going on. A lot of these parents, let me not say mothers, a lot of these parents wasn't caring. These guardians wasn't caring.
Jade, they know what's going on. No. They need to be held accountable too, as far as they're concerned.
I agree.
As far as they're concerned, they're comfortable.
There. However, Ghislaine, we'll see you at 80 if you make it there.
No, man, she'll be out. Let me see. Probably she'll be 2 for 3. So that would put her out in 12 years.
When she's 70 something?
Yeah. Well, yeah, with good behavior, she probably can get out. I think it's like. Where's she in Manhattan? Is Manhattan she was right? Yeah, she can get out. She can get out before 80. Yeah. I think in some of these cases here you get like a 1 for every 1 year you serve good behavior you count for like 2 years. Yeah.
Well, so there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You see the story about the Nazi. He was a part of the Nazi concentration camp. He's 105 years right now. They sentenced him to 5 years.
Oh boy.
I shot that man and just dropped down in court one time. Yeah, sentence a man that is 105 years to 5 years in jail. I legit shot the hand and dropped down one time. Heart attack.
Man,
high blood pressure. That man out here next week, you know.
The man just there thinking to himself, well, I mean, I don't live a full life.
105 more than full as him.
Yeah, the man was a Nazi, Jade.
The man don't touch all kind of people.
No, look, Gawain, okay, you know what? Let's do this. We got a few minutes left, right? I'm going to go down this road here. Because, of course, we like to use these things as ways to introduce new topics. A lot of our parents, and I'm going to say Jade because it's true.
No, right.
Particularly the mothers.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stop pimp out your daughter to the money man them.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing. I know somebody here talking about the fact that they had someone go and take an underage girl out of one of these stars that were here for Music Fest. Woman thing.
Oh,
Yeah. We can get there. But I know when I was in school, there were particular girls. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of one in particular who would miss class, miss school, will be put on a plane, flown out to go to particular events to then facilitate, let's say, a relationship between her and someone who was very affluent at the time. Right? Skip school now.
Skip school, boy.
Now I understand, and I've spoken to some mothers who have engaged in these things. Actually, some of the things I said when I was a teacher changed me forever. But when mothers are going to say, I'm not going to let her struggle like I struggle, I understand where the mentality is, but
I mean, you should make
but
her
the
you think
but,
she's struggling because
but yes, but all they're doing is inflicting. Oh my God,
Oh, my mother's
inflicting other traumas on your daughter. That we gotta stop doing that stupidness there. There was another girl, she was a friend of mine, and years after she admitted to me that her mother used to try and get friendly with certain men who she felt would be able to contribute financially to the household in a way that would really improve their living conditions and stuff like that. So the mom would literally identify men, become friendly, introduce them to the daughter and stuff like that. I had a situation when I was teaching. Same thing happened to a student of mine. I recognized a change in the young girl, and me take up my fasting mumu self. See the girl in the store with she mother, rams down the bed. I remember it. I remember the oil, everything. And decide to go ask the mother what is happening, because I'm recognizing a change in the girl's demeanor, in her attention at school, or focus, all of that. Only through the conversation to recognize that the mother pimping up, trying to, and she don't see it as pimping. Her thing is, she's trying to set her up. You're not trying to set her up with somebody who she feels is adequate. However, when we start talking about what makes this man adequate, is just the fact that he has money.
Yeah, money. Some of y'all not seeing heaven, you know. The things that y'all doing to your own kids.
You're traumatizing your children,
legit traumatizing your children. You might see it as, I trying to set them up.
I understand
for a better future. No, that's not how you do that. You are the parent.
And I understand that you are hurt. I understand that things are hard for you. I understand that you're struggling. I understand these things, you know. I understand these things, that I somehow ignore these things, but you have to recognize that doesn't then justify putting your children in these positions.
Yeah, y'all don't understand the harm and the hurt y'all causing y'all young kids.
The woman actually tell me, Jade, she said, well, I get her at 16, so what if she get child 16? The woman actually tell me, Jade. At that point, I recognized I was in way over my head and had to refer it to the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
I was like, Miss, I don't know what to say to you. But what happened is, I'm looking at the effects of this thing on the daughter. I had no idea what was going on, Jade. I had no idea what was going on. I asked the girl, hey, what going on with you? You weren't really paying attention in class. You were doing so well in your studies. I was going to recommend you. What happened was, I was planning to she was in a remedial stream. I was planning to recommend that she repeat and then go up into the mainstream, right?
That's a while answer to get somebody by.
So in other words then, because I recognize that she has the potential, I'm looking at her, I'm hoping she, and then you start seeing her drop off. So it was obvious there's something going on.
Yeah, there's something with your mother. But you said something earlier that triggered something that was supposed to cuss about to them.
Yeah, cuss them.
Now, I understand a lot of y'all aren't accustomed to seeing or being around
celebrities.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
People y'all deem as famous, popular, whatever. People in nice chains, clothes, whatever. Young women, please stop letting these artists, celebrities, whoever y'all want to call them, embarrass y'all on social media. It's not a real relationship. I know y'all thinking y'all special or they like me, they pick me, these kind of things.
I need to get on social media. This happening? This happening on social media? Jade, you don't send me anything here. Oh, you send me this?
So, let me give you the rundown quickly.
Give me the rundown.
Boil nuts. Sorry, his name is Peanut.
Right, so Peanut.
He remind me, you know, when you buy a bag of boiled nuts and you got this one boiled nut that just in there, that's scaring you, like you can't eat it, that's what he reminded me of. And I mean that with the most disrespect possible. Boiled nuts came to sing it. Nobody bring him to sing, nobody bring him as an artist, none. He came forward for
as
a
part
reason.
of somebody's entourage.
Whatever groupie behavior he was depicting. And some young ladies decided, whatever, they're going to be around him. And he ended up putting these young ladies, well, they put out this video with them in his chain and all kind of story.
What?
Me don't know this guy left.
Okay, but no, me can't even vex with boil nuts now.
Wait.
You set up yourself for that.
No, wait, this is why I work with boil nuts.
Okay,
Wait, let me tell you the part where I work with
okay,
boil nuts.
Tell me.
They're posing up in the chain and all kind of things on social media and all things that go viral on social media.
Right.
Next thing you know, they're in all kind of video of boil nuts, pulling them in the video and stuff. You know, they're looking shocked like they want to be in the video. May never see the same video, but I digress. Boy not gonna decide to come out and talk about what, saying it's people this and that money. He put out this content, you know. Saying it's people this and that, and the young lady, what, saying it's woman is growing lizard and all kind of.
Oh, okay. I see somebody put up something about he's going lizard. And I wasn't asking what you're talking about here.
Sir.
But I was just too afraid to admit that I don't know what that was.
And he gonna send his woman here to defend him. Good luck. Set up your woman for failure.
Yeah, that's a disaster they're waiting to happen.
No, listen, no. Let him say no. Because if you ain't know how kitchens be, you better go ask Calado. If you feel this plan that you concocted in your head, boil nuts, it's going to work in the way that you think it's going to work, send your woman here. You're talking about, yeah, come back. Say it. Sir, we're bringing you here in the first place.
Yeah, that's
we did not invite you.
Yeah, nobody invited him, that's true. Yeah.
Not a stage show, not a side performance, not even a special appearance. We ain't know you're here until you come out. And the majority of us was confused.
Yeah.
Because we ain't know you. May never gonna lie to you.
But the young girl know him though. The young girl know him.
That's fine. I feel like you feel like you're more popular here than you are. And I'm here to tell you that you're not. We don't care about you, sir. So you come in here to talk about how you are coming back and the woman name is growing lizard or whatever. Well, if we is growing lizard, you remember that lizard feed, the lizard bush? With the
lizard food?
You is lizard food. If the young ladies in St. Kitts is growing lizard, you is lizard food. You know your place.
Terrible.
You know your place. The man literally look like the bottom of the boiler's bag, you know? And talking about woman. We is growing. Not we, I can't hear me. But you don't ever place a place with Kittisha woman. But you ain't coming back like we invite you in the first place. Well, thanks for not coming back, sir.
But Jade...
You must stop embarrass the country. See them and don't see them. See them and don't let no gold chain fool are you. Because the artists, them ain't like how I thinking in your head. I talk to I about them and I've met enough. I've been around enough. Y'all feel like the people y'all seeing on social media and on these music videos and wherever y'all seen them, y'all concoct this whole idea of how they are in y'all heads. Let me tell you, it's only in your head. Because when I meet them in real life, there's big disappointments. And now y'all just embarrassing the country. What is? What going on, buddy?
What going on? Where he come from?
America. You come cut my cousin shots.
She was cussing boil nuts.
What?
Yeah.
What he name? Peanut Candy, what he name? Oh, so all bad.
Oh, boy.
Come here with his nonsense, go cause think he's go on lizard.
But yeah, I just staying out of woman business and buy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the best thing you could do. Just stay out of woman
Vince, come
business.
show the people them.
Vince, you come in.
You're supposed to be.
But
Never mind. Never mind. It's okay. This is a figment of my imagination.
yeah.
But yeah, don't do that. Don't come embarrass the country. Leave the artists them while you see them. They're gonna come tell all kind of sweet things. They're gonna fly you out and this and that. They're lying.
I just see this here happen all the time, Jade. And this is happen all the time, yeah. I see girls in certain countries convince themselves that they're in relationships with these men, yeah.
Oh.
I just be like, what are you thinking? I remember this one girl in particular. She was, let me not say what country she was from, because same thing. She get blown up on social media too, right? But the girl, and you know what it is, what it is kill it for? Same thing. Couldn't just take little and live long.
And that's another thing. Everything I want to put on social media, we tired talk to all you.
The girl in the condo with the guy, I want to be posting up the foot. Right? And it's like, girl, this ain't gonna end good, you know? I talk to her, you know?
I've never seen it end well.
I talk to the girl, I say, girl, watch you really believe, as you don't know, you don't know what I put on this guy, you know? You don't know, he ain't got no choice but to love me.
Oh, so you think you're special because
Next thing we know, Pana got a whole song with the actual woman.
You hear the man say he gonna send his woman saying it? Me know what she coming here go do.
She ain't coming away like that,
she
man.
can't. Why would she do this?
I like that.
One, you're embarrassing your woman because now we know that you have a woman. You're out there in all kind of hotel room with all kind of people that you calling Gong Lizard now. So you didn't think there was Gong Lizard when there was in your hotel room.
But you say he's lizard food, Jade.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of what he would end up with. I had no idea none of any of this was going on.
And this man tapping from all the locations in Zegis, and that's what pissing me off, you know. The man all done put and nobody see man does knock the phone out here.
Somebody got sent me these videos, but I have no idea what's going on. But look, this is a thing, Jade. Unfortunately,
it needs to stop being a thing.
Unfortunately, like you said, there are people who create these delusions in their minds. And people who just want to be close to men who seem to be either influential, have money, fame, celebrity, or just, and this is another thing, just associated with persons who have those things.
And that ain't even the worst part for me, you know. Next thing you know, you see another video with somebody holding up a boxer saying it's he won.
What?
Saying she come home with a boxer. Like,
the same guy? Boiling up boxer?
Yes, somebody had boiled nuts boxer. And they posted on social media. Let me
Why would you do that?
Let me keep reminding y'all something of a small fact that I think y'all keep forgetting, and as him say it all the time. We will not know your business unless you put it on social media.
Yeah, we ain't gonna know. It's true, you know.
How would I know?
We wouldn't know.
Y'all is the one who does give us this information and then vex that we got it. How would we know?
Laughing stock. Because no, you're actually admitting to be one of the ground lizards.
Stop being the main character in Take It. It never ends well. Leave that for the politicians and the people on the platforms them. Y'all do not have to do this. I promise you, y'all do not have to go live. You do not have to record yourself in these positions. You do not have to embarrass yourself for likes and jokes. I promise you.
Yeah.
Life moves on.
You don't have to puppy show yourself.
You do not.
You don't have to puppy show yourself. That's true.
Leave that for me and Azim.
No, leave that for Jade. May puppy show myself for nobody, Jade. I'm sorry. I'm not doing
the
it.
show, man. I mean, the things that's on the show. You don't see me on any video? After I log on, you can't log off. You can't see me again, Azim.
You're right.
Me ain't going live for free. Me argue with nobody on the internet for free. And I for sure ain't embarrassing myself on the internet for free. Or for money.
Yeah. I don't know what the price would be for you to pay me to puppy show myself.
Boy.
That just ain't in my nature.
And it definitely ain't a boxer.
In fact, they might weigh back. It was like a boxer beef, or it's like an actual
no,
boxer.
like them one of them design cartoon boxer.
Actually, that there to me is the most egregious part of this entire story, you know, yeah. The man does be a cartoon boxer.
May if it was a cartoon, but it was
like one of them graphic boxer. Wow.
As a big man. Well, he ain't big, he kind of. I see what his problem be, Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing.
Boil nuts don't come back. Boil nuts don't come back. And don't send your woman here.
Yeah,
she will get taken.
And not only,
and you will be embarrassed.
Not only that, guys, I think the main takeaway for me is that I am very afraid that what we are seeing is a lot of women who aren't necessarily living up to their intrinsic value as women. Like, I think that's kind of, don't cheap out yourself.
Please.
Yeah, don't cheap out yourself. That's what I'll say that. A general, let's try to start a woman business, A general, let's just start a woman business. And like, look, I ain't saying you should or shouldn't do X or do Y. All I'm saying is, sometimes your value is more than what seemingly you're living up to, and I think that's a travesty, right? So, yeah, please try and maintain that high value that you have,
please,
as a woman. You understand?
Please,
hopefully.
Stop let these artists come here and embarrass. And I need these artists to stop coming here and thinking that they could just say whatever. We've had several examples of why that fails.
Yeah,
Don't make yourself the next example of saying it's people.
But people is people, yeah. And they're gonna always got people. They're not because any artist say me in the smart by.
By clearly. The elevators don't go all the way up, clearly.
Yeah.
Because
that one from the press conference was crazy. But yeah, guys, it's 10 o'clock, and guys, we're gonna have to leave. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to disembark, and of course disappear. Guys, if you listen to us on Facebook, YouTube, winmediaskn.com, or any of the other digital platforms, of course, we appreciate you big time. Mm-hmm. Of course, the people who are in the live chat, chatting it up, you guys keep this thing jiggy.
Indeed.
Then the people on the radio, 98.9 FM, appreciate you big time. The callers, all of the callers, we appreciate you.
Indeed. Everyone.
Yes, all of them, we appreciate you big time. And so, here we are at the end of the show. Please enjoy your hump day.
June is almost out of here. July is literally upon us.
Yeah, man. Make sure you end it productive. Make sure you finish strong.
And make sure y'all meditate, say your prayers, because July is going to be rough. Many were lying. July about to be a different month.
No, it's not a free concert.
No, besides if you concert them, man. Besides if you concert them.
Oh boy, gotta love it. By the time you check out how much shows we had between June and August, we might be up for some kind of record, Jade.
Yeah, man.
We might be up for some kind of record.
Because they're going to be flinging left and right, eh?
Yeah, and then you got Culture Ramadan start, this weekend here, Culture Ramadan got what? They got something this weekend, I think. They've been having Action Con already.
Yeah.
Every Friday afternoon.
Busy month.
Yeah, so things been happening.
Yes.
Things been happening. So you guys have an amazing day. And of course, be sure to join us back here again tomorrow for more Island Tea. But remember, guys,
I make sure they hear you this time. They've been listening,
Main thing, bye. Yeah, you're right. Pay attention, kids. Please learn from the losses of others. You don't have to go and repeat the same mistakes. And even if you do, count it as a lesson. All right? This one is a big one, Jade.
This is the part I need them to come to the front of the class, please.
This is a big one, Jade. Spend more time living your content than posting it, guys. Don't have to post everything.
You definitely do not.
Don't have to post everything.
Keep some videos in your phone.
Tomorrow, my gear has to do with exactly this. Ain't a big gear, ain't a big thing, but it's just something I've observed.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, please remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. Again, see you guys tomorrow.